Hello, everybody. Yay. I hope you had a good time at lunch for those of us here in Singapore, and thanks everybody for joining us remotely. We're gonna get started, and we're talking today about mentoring new editors on Wikipedia. I am Kirsten Stoller. I'm the product manager of the Wikimedia Foundation's growth team. The growth team creates tools for new editors to help them onboard and get started with their first edits on the wikis. And I am a former reference librarian, longtime Wikimedia lover, and I'm very excited to be here at my first Wikimania. Luckily, we have also an amazing growth team supporting me that has a lot of tenure and long-term editing history. So Martin is also here to help present about mentorship. Martin, are you there?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, I'm Martin. I'm with the Grow team since its inception a couple of years ago. I currently work for the Grow team as a senior software engineer, and my focus has been in the area of mentorship, which is the reason why I'm here. Also, an active volunteer on the Wikimedia projects, namely Ancient Wikipedia, where I'm active as an administrator and globally as a steward.
Perfect. Thank you, Martin. So let me give you a brief overview of what to expect today. I'm hoping that we keep this intro presentation I have for you all fairly short. I'm going to talk a little bit about new editor needs on Wikipedia, and then I'll be talking about mentorship and the Growth's mentorship tools that exist. And then we just yesterday published on Wiki some mentorship metrics about the impact that mentorship is having. So I've got some like brand new data to share with you all. And then we'll have a Q&A session. So if anybody has any questions, we'll have time for that. And I'm hoping that the majority of our time spent together is actually going to be in small group discussions where you all can talk about newcomer needs and mentorship and things that we can do to continue to improve the tools that we provide for mentors and newcomers. So why are we here? I imagine that all of you care about the long-term sustainability of Wikipedia and the Wikimedia movement and care about newcomer retention. But the majority of new accounts that are created on Wikipedia actually never go on to edit. It's, varies by wiki, but it's something like 60% of new accounts created never edit. And then, those that do actually edit successfully for the first time often never return to edit again. They might not have a good experience editing. They, might find the process confusing or daunting, and they don't return to the wikis. So that is why we're here and what we want to talk about. And I'm curious who we have in the room right now. So raise your hand if you help, new editors in any way on the wikis. Perfect. I mean, most of you are, you care about newcomers and you care about the long-term sustainability of the movement. And so a lot of you are already doing something on the wikis to help new editors. Now, I'm curious how many of you actually are currently a mentor using the Growth's mentorship tools. We've got, I think there's two hands maybe. Yeah, not too many. Okay, that's kind of what I expected. I was hoping for a couple more active mentors, but that's fine. Like the purpose of this presentation is twofold. Like I want to share what the growth team has been working on. Sorry, I need to close this so I recognize I'm not progressing the slides. Okay. So yeah, yeah. Yeah, okay, the question was, I cited the stat about, it's actually, I think, more than 60% of new accounts created never edited, and we're wondering, like, what are those users signing up for? Like, what was their interest? The growth team has a newcomer welcome survey, so we actually do have some data on, like, what new account holders are, like, why they created their account. I don't have the exact metrics in my head that I can cite to you, but on MediaWiki, all the information about that is available, and it's really interesting. The top reason provided by new accounts created is actually they signed up to add an article. It's not like to do a quick edit or fix a typo. They are specifically interested in creating an article. And then I'm nervous to cite an exact stat. I think it's about 19% of accounts that are created are actually created to read Wikipedia. So they're signing up and like think that they maybe are going to get some extra tools or functionality for deepening their reading experience. So that's something the growth team is really interested in looking into deeper. We will have a question and answer session in a little while too, so feel free, if you have questions, you can ask them now, or you can wait till the Q&A session. Did that at least partially answer your question? Okay, cool. Okay, so a lot of you, very few current mentors here, so some of you probably don't know anything about mentorship, probably don't know if the growth mentorship tools are even available on your wiki. So here is a list of wikis where growth mentorship features are enabled. Let's see, a couple important things to note here is that you'll see an asterisk next to English and Spanish Wikipedia. That is because mentorship is enabled on those wikis, but not 100% of new accounts created receive a mentor. That is only because there are not enough mentors currently to support the number of new accounts created. Hint, hint, anybody on English or Spanish Wikipedia interested in being a mentor, we would love to have you as a mentor. But at all these other wikis, 100% of new accounts created receive the mentorship tools. So it's about 50 wikis right now and about 800 active mentors. Another thing to note here is this is where the features are enabled, but the growth mentorship tools are actually already available at all Wikipedias. They just have to be enabled by a local interface admin. And then, of course, you need at least one mentor, hopefully more, to sign up to be a mentor before newcomers will receive the mentorship tools. And we will be going into what these mentorship tools are now. Not now, but soon. I did create these slides. I should know what's on them. Before we get into mentorship, I just wanted to quickly go over why the growth team created tools for mentorship. And a lot of the work that went into mentorship was guided by this new editor experience research that was done back in 2018, and it found that there are new editors face these three main barriers to getting started on Wikipedia. It's, technical, which, visual editor certainly helps with a lot, but there's still a lot of things that you need to know and understand to be an editor on Wikipedia. There's the conceptual difficulty of there's a ton of guidelines and things that you need to know to get started on the wiki, conflict of interest and notability and all the acronyms that are thrown around. It's a lot to get started. And then cultural, newcomers often try things out, get reverted, feel like people are not, being kind and welcoming. It takes a little bit to understand the culture of the wikis and get started. So this new editor experience research that was done came back with, several recommendations about what new editors need to be successful on Wikipedia. The one that we are talking about today is mentorship, and it is around, it was the project that the growth team worked on to move forward with this human-to-human help need that new editors have. So, they need to feel connected to a human, that they're not editing in the void, that they need mentors to help them make their first steps on the wikis. So I wanted to include this mainly because, mentorship is not the magical thing that is going to make new editors feel, be totally successful. It's just a piece of the puzzle that definitely helps new editors when they're getting started on Wikipedia. Back when we started this project, here was the hypothesis that we set, that if we improve mentorship tools, then mentors can provide a better experience for newcomers. And, as a follow-up, hope if new editors, or if newcomers or new editors, sorry, I often use those terms interchangeably, but if newcomers have a better experience, then new editor retention will improve. And now I'm going to pass it along to Martin, who's going to talk to us in more detail about the mentorship tools, since he is the brilliant engineer who's been working on the mentorship tools for the last couple years. So Martin, take it away.
Thank you, Kirsten. Mentorship is currently available on all Wikipedias, as Kirsten has already mentioned, and it's only enabled or available to users on Wikipedias with available experienced users who signed up as mentors. Any experienced user can enroll as a mentor using the special enroll as mentor page on the Wikipedia. The definition of experienced users is usually 30 days and 500 edits, but administrators are able to change that via the community configuration, which I'll briefly mention very soon. Once a sufficient amount of mentors enrolls on the wiki, administrators can enable mentorship via the community configuration tool at special edit grow config. And once that's done, mentorship is fully available to new users. New users or mentees are randomly assigned an experienced user as their mentor. And the mentees have two options available. Mentees can see who their mentor is, view the user page, and learn a bit about them. They can also ask a question to their mentor via their homepage, which is directed to the mentor's user talk page, and they can see it there and answer and help the mentee that way. Next slide, please. Administrators have full control over who is a mentor on a given Wikipedia. They can both remove a user as a mentor in case they're actually not helping new users in an appropriate way, and they can also change any mentorship-related options that the mentors can configure, which is a brief introduction message that the newcomer will see under the mentor's username, whether the mentor is actually automatically assigned to many newcomers, and also how many newcomers the mentor has signed. Next slide, please. Thank you. Mentors have a mentor dashboard available for them, and on this mentor dashboard, they can see all the users that they are assigned to, together with the number of their edits, number of reverted edits, blocks, and similar, which is useful for mentors to determine how the users that they are mentoring are doing, and also to enable mentors to be a little bit proactive about mentorship and not let it be just as answering questions on the user talk page. They can also briefly disable the auto assignment in case a mentor leaves for a wiki vacation or something similar and don't want to be assigned new users and want to let know that that's simply not available for answering questions at that time. Please. The newest addition to the mentor dashboard is the personalized price module, which determines new users that are doing a good job for that mentor. The reason for including that is to enable mentors to proactively send a message to new users who are doing a really good job, which will, according to our hypothesis, make those users more active in editing and increase their productivity and activity on the wiki. This is a part of the current positive reinforcement project and is unfortunately not yet available on all Wikipedias yet, but it will soon be installed on all projects for Grow Mentorship is enabled and enable mentors to benefit from them. A mentor can define what it means for them, for newcomers, to be doing a good job, like the number of edits that the mentee has to do in order to show up in this module. I hope that this personalized price module can help with the issue of identifying new users who are actually editing, which is often one of the concerns I hear from mentors around the lines of, I'm answering a question and I see new users all the time, but no one that stays. So this is a module that will hopefully help with this. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Question?
Question concerning the slide. Is this tool for new editors or for new mentees?
So this tool that you're seeing a screenshot of is what would appear to mentors on the mentor dashboard. So the idea is it surfaces newcomers that are doing well, and the mentor might want to send them praise or encouragement, and mentors can kind of fully configure how this works. You can define for yourself like what a praiseworthy mentee is based on edits and reverts and that sort of thing. The other thing good to note is you have the option to enable like a weekly notification or a daily notification if you really wanted to when you have a like praiseworthy mentee. So it's a way to have this get surfaced to you rather than, I know that like our experienced editors and current mentors are like very busy and have a lot going on, and here's a way that we could surface newcomers that are doing well, and hopefully send those newcomers some level of encouragement. So yeah, this is surfaced only to mentors on the mentor dashboard. Okay, so before I share the recent mentorship metrics that we have, I wanted to share this thought from a current mentor on Spanish Wikipedia, which is mentors are like right now kind of acting almost as the first guard of the wiki. They help, avoid newcomers making some bad edits or adding articles that might immediately get deleted. So in theory, like the hope is that mentors are helping reduce the workload of patrollers and admins. This is an important consideration when you look at the quantitative metrics that I'm about to share, because mentorship can mean really many different things. And the reality is that some mentors have the role of actually discouraging newcomers from like writing that article that is definitely a conflict of interest or is like definitely not notable for the wiki. So like my hope is that mentorship, of course, like increases newcomer activation and retention, but also in reality, sometimes mentors are saying, maybe don't write that article, or can you get started on these smaller edits first? So I just wanted to mention that like it's hard to look at just the quantitative data without like thinking about all the different variations of how mentors interact with mentees. But that being said, so like I said, this is brand new data that we just was shared with me this week, and we just published on MediaWiki, I believe, yesterday. And right now, we only looked at English and Spanish Wikipedia for this experiment because there's a natural A/B test right now on Spanish and English Wikipedia where, a certain percent of new accounts created are receiving mentors and a certain percentage are not receiving mentorship tools. So natural A/B tests, we could compare the newcomers that are receiving a mentor versus those who don't. There's some further notes about the methodology at the end of this slide deck. It's also available with a lot more details on the MediaWiki. So if you're interested, the link is here, or just, search for mentorship preliminary analysis on MediaWiki and you'll find it. So one of the first questions we asked was, like, what proportion of newcomers with access to a mentor are actually asking them a question? Whoops, oh my gosh, sorry. Okay, so we find that less than 3% of newcomers with access to a mentor are actually asking them a question. And that, proportion varies by wiki and by platform. It's always interesting to see just how different language editions of Wikipedia can be. So you can see that on English Wikipedia, there's a significant difference in, the number of questions asked by the platform in which they register, desktop or mobile. But that distinction doesn't really hold true on Spanish Wikipedia. So always interesting to see the wide differences in wikis. So the other thing we were interested in is for those newcomers asking their mentor a question, is it like the very first edit that a newcomer is making? And the answer is it's about, for the newcomers that ask a question, it's about a third who are asking their mentor a question and doing so as their very first edit. So that's like, about 1 in 100 of new accounts registered on mobile, I believe. But then on desktop, it's a little bit lower than that. It's more like 1 in 200 newcomers are asking their mentor a question as their very first edit on Wikipedia. Let's see, so does mentorship increase the number of newcomers who edit for the first time? And the answer is yes. We find that newcomers are generally more likely to activate or edit for the very first time within 24 hours of registration. That's how we define activation. However, in many cases, that increase in activation can be partially explained by, they are asking their mentor a question, which is an edit. However, that is not always the case. It was interesting to see, once again, there's just like a wide variety across desktop and mobile and across English versus Spanish. And we actually saw a significant boost in activation on Spanish Wikipedia on mobile for accounts that on Spanish Wikipedia for accounts that registered on mobile, mentorship is actually increasing activation.
In statistical form, how significant? It does look rather small.
It is. I believe the mobile web difference is statistically significant. I would say the other ones are. I believe that Morton, our data analyst, generally only says it's significant if it meets like 95% level of significance. So you can look at the full report for further data on this, but there definitely is a significant boost in activation on Spanish mobile, but you can see it's pretty small for those other ones. So even though like there might be a little bit of a boost, it's maybe not statistically significant. And then, how is mentorship impacting some of these other metrics that we really care about? Retention, productivity, and revert rates. These are, along with activation, these are like the 3 other metrics that we really care about on the growth team and look at closely for every experiment that we run. And unfortunately, I don't have like an easy answer, a clear yes or no. Results vary a lot by wiki, by registration platform, et cetera. We didn't find a significant difference in retention of newcomers that have access to a mentor compared to those who did not. However, that being said, it's worth noting that because it's only 2% of newcomers who actually ask questions of their mentor, we can't compare that with the 2% of newcomers who didn't receive a mentor and might have asked a question. So we're comparing the broad, all newcomers that receive mentorship versus all newcomers that did not receive mentorship. So, it is really challenging to show a statistically significant difference in this case, since we're talking about like just a small 2% who are really engaging with mentors. With productivity, we actually found conflicting data between English and Spanish Wikipedia, which was interesting. On English Wikipedia, we find an increase in productivity for newcomers who registered on desktop, but then there wasn't actually a statistical difference with on mobile. And on Spanish Wikipedia, desktop users showed no significant difference, whereas mobile web, there was actually maybe a slight decrease in productivity, which was interesting. It's, anyways, one of the things I'd love to talk about more. There's like a lot of questions that, as always, I feel like you answer a series of questions and then you just end up with more questions. Revert rate, we didn't find a significant difference in revert rate between newcomers who have access to a mentor versus those who did not. So in summary, it seems like mentorship might help new accounts edit for the first time, but we're not seeing a significant shift in retention, unfortunately, which is what we were really aiming for. But like I mentioned, it is really challenging to just look at this with qualitative or quantitative metrics. There's, a lot more going on in these mentor relationships that might not be captured in this data. Furthermore, I'd say mentorship, I think it can definitely be a lot more powerful if we expand it to include more tools like what we were demoing with the positive reinforcement or personalized praise tools, when we're actually like surfacing newcomers that are doing well and successful and proactively engaging them and like helping them join the movement. I think that is going to be a lot more meaningful than just like, the newcomers that have questions and getting their questions answered by a mentor. I think that, there's more to mentorship than just asking questions. Although the growth team built some initial mentorship tools, there's clearly more we can and should do to improve the mentorship of new editors on Wikipedia. So I'm really looking forward to hearing some of your ideas. I really think that human-to-human connection is very important. It's like the vital and magical ingredient of the wikis. And as this mentor mentions, I truly believe that the combination between virtual mentorship and in-person guidance could make the difference. There is the ability currently that like campaign organizers can claim specific newcomers as their mentee. So if you've connected with somebody at an event, you've run an edit-a-thon, you could, down the road continue to mentor and engage with that editor over time. And I think that like some of those relationships can be very powerful if you continue to connect with them and act as their mentor on the wikis. Sorry, I did it again. I didn't progress my slides. Sign up. If anyone, it sounds like everybody in this room is, helping newcomers on your wikis in some way. If mentorship is active on your wiki, all you need to do is go to the special page, which is Enroll as Mentor. Super easy to sign up. Or if mentorship is not available at your wiki and you want to help get it set up, it's also fairly straightforward. Obviously you want to make sure that your community is interested in having the mentorship tools set up on your wiki, and then any interface admin can turn it on very easily via the Edit Growth Config special page, and add criteria for like who can be considered a mentor. And then once it's enabled, mentors can easily sign up via that special Enroll as Mentor page. We have some time for Q&A if there's any lots of questions. Okay. Okay, let's go with you there. Sure, yeah. Oh.
I'm sorry, yes. So thank you so much, really interesting presentation. My question is, how do you think about...
Some mic difficulties we're working out. Just a second.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, a really interesting presentation. My question is, how do you think about quality control of mentors' work? And I think there might be two problems. From what I've seen in my Ukrainian Wikipedia, mentors can either be inactive and ignore questions, or mentors can just give bad advice. Are there any plans to address this, and do you maybe have some advice to local communities on how to deal with it?
Yeah, so good question. I think that, first of all, any local admin can decide to remove a mentor from the mentor list. So if there are specific mentors that are like not actually responding to questions or not interacting with newcomers in an appropriate way, the hope is that admins will remove those mentors from the mentorship program. There's probably more that we can and should do to like help surface those problems to admins. So if you have any ideas, let's share them when we get to discussion time. Does that answer your question? Okay. Yeah.
Hi. Another question regarding mentors. Do you have any stats, or do you plan on getting some stats about mentors? So how much time they spend on average, in their mentorship? That seems like an interesting thing, especially if it's not too big a time, right? Because I want to become a mentor, but I'm not sure whether I can handle that sort of luggage. So
Yeah. I mean, it varies a lot wiki to wiki depending on how many mentors are signed up. Most mentors that I've talked to receive anywhere between like 1 and 3 questions a week. It's generally not like a huge time commitment, but like I said, that will vary wiki by how many mentors are signed up. I don't know, Martin, do you have anything you want to add there?
I just want to highlight that it's also possible to change the number of mentees you are assigned. So you can decide to first try the average number of mentees, and if it feels not sustainable to you, you can decrease the number of newcomers assigned to you in your mentor dashboard. And that way you'll receive less newcomers and thus less questions. We don't have a direct way for controlling the number of questions. But you can decide to have less newcomers assigned to you and control the amount of work that way.
Yeah, good point. There's also the ability, like Martin mentioned, that if you're like going on vacation, you're going to Wikimedia, you don't want to be disturbed for a week, you can set yourself away, and the questions that your mentees have will be redirected to another mentor. So there's that option as well. Other questions? You in the back. Oh, sorry, yes. Where the microphone is, that works too. Sorry.
Okay. I'm Rainer from the German Wikipedia. First, I want to say I think the mentee is the mentor is a very important thing, because every newcomer should have somebody they can address with the questions. But we're talking here about finding people to fill up our community. We're getting older and older. We need people to get into the community. And this study here is, for me, a little bit like fishing in a muddy pool. It's kind of like we're making statistics about all the people that are looking around and coming in. What we actually should be doing is creating nurseries and freshwater pools where we more or less embed or enable new editors to come in. So editathons and all other things where we actively engage newcomers. I think that's the thing we should be looking for. And they then, of course, also will need mentees. But, just, trying to find in the big universe out there with all the things, it's kind of like hard to find new editors.
Yeah, I think that is a very good point. And I am hoping we have the product manager of the campaigns team here, and I am hoping that growth and campaigns do a lot more together in the future, because I think that mentorship tools could be a lot more powerful when combined with, campaigns and edit-a-thons. I think that they go hand in hand for sure.
Hello, my name is Wafiq from Malaysia. Actually, I just figured out that I had already registered as the mentor, because I was like, I was just going into the special page, and then I found out this mentor dashboard, and I just clicked on it and I just registered myself. I don't know that I already been the mentor. And the questions is, I was just wonder if there are any follow-ups or the approaches to the new editors. I mean, like, okay, some new editors, they are gone for one edit and then they just disappear. If there are any like approaches from these tools that maybe can work as a reminder, like, okay, you forgot to do edits. You had already been offline for 30 days. I mean, not like spamming their emails, but if there any such thing like reminder to ensure the sustainability of these new editors. Yeah, that's all.
Ooh, good question. There isn't really anything as part of the mentorship tools. Like the mentorship dashboard, you can definitely get that kind of data on your mentees, and like you could be proactive and reach out to those mentees. But as far as like a re-engagement, there is a little bit of work that the growth team has done recently as part of the positive reinforcement project, where we've tried to do kind of this re-engagement notification a couple days after account creation. And it's definitely showing some promise. So that is something that I think is something that the growth team would love to follow up more on in the future. There was a whole study that was done last year as well on welcome emails and the impact of like follow-up re-engagement emails for new editors that showed a lot of promise. So I think that there's a lot more that we should and can explore in that area. Let's see, let's take 2 more questions and then let's move to discussion, because I definitely want to get feedback from you all before we leave here, so.
Hi, thanks for your talk. I'm Heidi from Wikimedia Aotearoa, New Zealand. I have to be honest, when I came to this, I thought it was going to be more about mentoring within your own local community, like person-to-person mentoring. What you told me was quite interesting, because I didn't know about this program. Excuse me. I'm just wondering if you could sort of comment on mentoring actual human-to-human versus virtually, and if we are editors that are short of time, what's the best, use of our time mentoring within our local community, person to person, or doing this? Your answer is probably to tell me to do both, but we may not have the time or the resources to do that. So yeah, I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have a magical, perfect answer for you, but I do really believe that once you've made that like human-to-human connection in an edit-a-thon, like a lot of those editors don't continue to edit, or like they're like, what are the next steps? And if you use the mentorship tools that the growth team provides as like an extension to that, I think that that could be a really powerful, and that's an area that like it would be very interesting to actually, try and gather data on in the future as well and A/B test. But my guess is that like a combination of like meeting a mentor face-to-face in an edit-a-thon and then getting support over time could be very, very powerful. And so I think that that could be, a good use of editors' time.
Stefano from Wikimedia Italia. I'm not a mentor right now. I've been helping other newcomers in, let's say, traditional way. I was and still I am willing to become a mentor, but, and here comes the but, listening to your presentation, the big question is, there is any worth in that because there is no change in percentage. Apparently, the behavior of the newcomers is not influenced by having or not having a mentor or something helping. Apparently, there is something else that we are not yet catching that is stopping people to contribute. How we can investigate that?
Yeah, like I said, I think that like there's certain things that we're not capturing in that experiment analysis because it is, it is very hard to show a shift when we're looking at like the impact on the 2% that are engaging with mentors. It's such a small group that it's hard to show statistical significance. But yeah, that's definitely something that I want the team to continue to explore in the future. And I think that I'm hoping that we're going to be releasing the personalized praise features to all wikis in the next month. And I think that that can be a very powerful tool if mentors start to use it and start to like provide, personalized feedback to new editors on their wikis that are like silently editing and doing good things, but haven't like really been brought into the community. I think that that is a way that mentorship can be a lot more powerful than it currently is. I don't know if Martin, do you have any other thoughts that you want to add to that?
No, sorry.
Okay, so, okay, one last question.
Hi, I'm Izen Koko from Burkina Faso. I would like to know, according to the language of Wikipedia on which we are, the mentoring rules are different.
I didn't catch that. Can you
According
repeat?
to the language according to the Wikimedia platform on which we are, mentoring rules are different. For instance, on Wikimedia French or English or Dutchland, the mentoring rules are the same.
Oh, okay. I think I understand the question. You sign up for a specific language version, so you can be a mentor on English Wikipedia or a different Wikipedia. You're not like a mentor to all newcomers everywhere. The rules for enrolling as a mentor can vary wiki by wiki. So
Okay.
Admins at your local wiki can decide to set the like level of number of edits or how long your account has been active can vary wiki by wiki. So local admins can decide like who could qualify as a mentor.
All right.
Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so we don't have a ton of time left together for discussion, but my hope is that there's a lot of you in the room here, and I'm not going to be able to like talk with each and every one of you, but I know you all have great ideas, and my hope is that we can spend the next 5 minutes adding your answers to these questions on the sticky notes that we'll be passing around. And then you can share your answers. We have the questions up here. I'm going to move these to like 3 different places in the room, and you can add your answers or feedback to these questions. And then if there's a particular question or discussion that you want to be involved in, just stick with that question, and we'll have like small group discussions after that point. So let's spend the next 4 or 5 minutes providing answers or feedback on these questions. I'm really interested in, number 1, what's one thing your wiki does well in terms of welcoming and onboarding newcomers? How can we recruit more and ensure mentorship is actually rewarding and engaging for mentors? And the third question is, how can we make mentorship more effective? what are some improvements we could make to the mentorship tools to make them more engaging for newcomers and for mentors. So, yes, we'll add them around the room, and sure. What's that? Yeah, individually, we're going to spend like maybe 4 more minutes quietly adding answers, and then you can add your sticky notes to the pillars, I guess. There we go. And remote attendees, I have not totally forgotten about you. However, I recognize that it's a little bit hard to have to discuss async. So hopefully Martin is joining in the discussion, and feel free to post answers there, and we'll record those as well and make sure they're included in the notes here.
If someone's listening from the remote participants, I shared the link in the chat.